Experiment A, audio log 2. I just got off of work. 8-hour shift. It's wonderful. And in less than 6 hours, I have to go back into work because I had a schedule change. Love my life so much. Oh. My light's flickering. Isn't that ominous? Yeah, so anyways, that's happened today. I guess that leads me into what I've been really thinking about the past few days is how time is a literal construct created by the government to force us to work so that they can use us for profits. Now, this all makes sense in the understanding that we think we need sleep. We have data and scientists that come out and say that the human needs 8 hours of sleep on average, and that's how we know. Yeah, I don't buy it. See, I think they're all in on it. Because hear me out. The Bible says back in creation, right? If we go back all the way to Genesis, God for 6 days created the heavens and the earth, all the creatures and everything, and then on the seventh day he rested. See, realistically as humans, we only need that seventh day of sleep. We don't need, just thinking out loud here, what if we didn't need our 8 hours of sleep every day, and what if the government is just anyways, all jokes aside, I do think time is a very odd thing to think about, especially the past few weeks and days, because it's like I have so many things I want to be doing, or so many things I want to read and just get on to. And of course I get distracted and I don't end up doing those things, but it's like I have to sleep, or I have to take a break at some point. It's like I can't just keep going and going and going because my brain don't do that. It's like I need to stop saying It's really frustrating to be tired or not to have the energy for it, or even the fact that I need to go to bed right now because if I don't, I'm going to regret not going to bed. And so that's been really frustrating the past few days. And then especially with what's going on right now is I just got off work 10 minutes ago. I live very close to my job, so that thankfully I can just drive home 5 minutes and I can hop in bed. But I got to do the audio log first. But part of me is invigorated to stay up and do things, and then go into work, and then stay up the rest of the day until my next bedtime tomorrow. Basically pulling a 24-hour no sleep. That's what I want to do, but I know I shouldn't probably do it. I mean, you'll hear about it tomorrow in my audio log if I end up staying up. I'll probably say I regret it or something, but just, I don't know. Life is so short, and that's maybe not necessarily the reason why, but it's I want to do more with my time. And maybe that's also partially out of frustration that I'm not actually doing as much as I'd like to get done. But at the same time, I am doing things, and I wish I had more time in my hand, and I wish I didn't have to sleep for 7-8 hours worth of the day. That would be nice. Yeah. While I was at work today, I was thinking about I'm kind of into politics. And so by kind of I mean I'm very much into politics. And I was thinking Donald J. Trump is he's not doing so great in office right now, but he still has aura, and I'm like, that's pretty incredible to me how some people just are able to retain aura despite what they like have done or do. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein is a brilliant example of this. Like, all the aura reels on Instagram are like, mind you, he's done terrible things or whatever, but then he's just like somehow has that aura, and we're just out here like Donald Trump, kind of the same way. Like, he's not doing so hot in office. The Epstein file Epstein file scandal is kind of crazy right now, and somehow he's retained his aura. Like, it was very evident he had his aura on Wednesday when he gave the State of the Union address. And I was thinking, wait a minute, who of all time who in all of human history has had the most aura? Many names came to mind, but you know who I landed on? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ has the most aura in human history. Mind you, I can further research into this, but in my shallow, short thinking earlier today, I thought, let's see, how do I put it into words here? Just imagine this picture. He's going to the cross. He's getting whipped. Within an inch of his life, he's got a crown of thorns. People are mocking him and spitting on him, whatever. He gets his feet driven in by nails to a wooden post, and his hands on the other ends, so that it's difficult for him to breathe, and because of the whipping and the nails, he's in so much pain, and he's coughing blood, and it is the most, one of the most gruesome ways to die. And it's done in display of everyone. And then he, out of nowhere, right before he passes, he looks up to heaven and says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." I'm sorry. The aura, yeah, maybe he lost aura, getting beat up or getting handed over into prison and yada, yada, yada. But imagine that. He's gone through all of that pain and hardship, and then he goes, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." I'm sorry. The most aura ever, right then and there. How can you deny that? Bro, in his last breath, said, "Forgive them." Absolutely, I need to stop saying absolutely insane to me. One, just a beautiful story, whether you're Christian or not, and if you believe in God or that kind of thing. One is just the story is incredible, and I believe it's true, and it's one of the most documented things ever. So but just think about that. Right before he dies, he says, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." The aura. He's there in front of everyone, blood spilling, in one of the most egregious deaths, and then he's like, no. It's just, I don't know. It's too. It's almost like the mic drops right then and there. I mean, it did, because then the sky went dark and there was earthquakes all over. It speaks of that in the Bible, and then it's recorded as well. So it is true that it wasn't essentially a mic drop right there. But yeah, I thought about that earlier today. I just wanted that to go down in the audio log, so I don't forget that. Maybe that should be a project I look into, going through the 4 Gospels and basically saying why Jesus Christ is the most orful man to ever exist. I think that sounds like a banger episode. Yeah. Oh, I was also reading in Proverbs today, and what was really cool in Proverbs, or like what jumped out on me, was Proverbs 2:20. That was pretty cool. I want to put that down because honestly, it just gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of like reassurance in like just wisdom and the value of it. 2:20 reads in ESV at least. It reads for chapter 2 verse 20. So you will walk in the way of good and keep to the paths of the righteous. In just the first four words there, so you will walk. So, like basically stating in in the first sense of the way, you will walk if you follow precepts and if you choose to listen and be wise, listen to wisdom, listen to insight, listen to reproach. You will be walking on the way of good and the path of righteousness. So you will be walking a good path, and you will be righteous if you adhere to it. But then also it says, so, and then the same wording, so you will walk, basically like as a command of, so you will walk in the way of good. Like, not only like the confidence of you will be walking in the way of good, but also if you are valuing wisdom and adhering to wisdom and listening to it, you will be in obedience. I see it as in like you will be obedient to him, but also in a way of you will be walking. You. How do I explain that? How do I convey those thoughts? You will be. So you will walk. Like I'm seeing it as like an ownership or of a initiative of like you are walking out of like your own your choice of walking is basically saying, so you will walk, but in God telling you, you are going to walk in the way of the wise and the good and the righteous, as well as if you do so, you will be amongst the good and the righteous. So one is the like a commandment and obedience factor, and then the second half of that, even in just those same four words, is the idea of because of that, you will be on the path of good and on the path of righteousness. And so that, to me, that really stood out to me as like, at least for where I am at in my walk right now, and like where I'm upon an reflection of like doing things in obedience because maybe my heart isn't there yet, because I really do value that of the heart needs to be there because it's a relationship aspect with our relationship with Christ and God. But it speaks so many times over in the Bible of like obedience and following the law and different things like that. So regardless of like whether your heart is on board, you need to be following through in obedience. So in the same way of like searching out wisdom and searching out reproof and like thinking and being wise, or seeking to be wise, seeking to listen and to hear, I am following in obedience to that of like, I need to stop saying like. I need to make a note in my audio log. Stop saying so, like. And so, dang it, I did it right there. So like, yeah, I can't do that either. That was just really impactful to me this morning, and I think that'll be like leading at least my time, especially the past 3 weeks, with me feeling that there's too little time. I don't have the time to do things. Sleep is terrible because it's taking away from the time I could be doing things or looking into or researching into different aspects that I'm interested in. This, like, I said like again. I'm going to have to do a whole nother episode on my grammar or just my speaking or just an audio file on it, to be honest.